Hi everyone. Today we will see Talent tmap, how to utilize tmap and what are the benefits and features. Tmap can be utilized in multiple purpose. One is expression builder, where we can call it as like column mapping, creating the calculations, custom columns, etc. And tmap can be utilized for doing the joins like lookups. Here we have two types of lookups, cache and non-cache, which we will call it as dynamic or versus static, which is nothing but cache versus non-cache. And it is used for filtering, like before loading the data into target table, if you want to apply any filter, then tmap also can be utilized. And if any records, like example, it can be utilized for capturing the rejected records in your target table due to some purpose. If the rows are rejected for inserting those rejected primary key values, if you want to capture in a separate table, that can be implemented by using, it can be achieved by using tmap. And you can same output you can capture in multiple tables. It is nothing but you can generate multiple outputs and you can store into multiple tables. That can be achieved by using tmap. You can utilize variables instead of applying the static filters. You can create a variable, and that variable you can utilize here. And it can call the system routines or user defined routines. You can invoke Java routines here. And if you have a table is having a surrogate key, and if you want to generate an auto key, like for every row, if you want to generate a number unique sequence, then that can be achieved by using generate sequence. So in tmap, we can achieve that surrogate key concept, generating a new value for every row. So these are the different options where we can achieve by using tmap. One by one, we can see in detail. For as an example, I have a table which is called EMP. I have a table which is EMP and it has 14 records. Okay. Now my requirement is I want to load all 14 records into a target table, and where I want to do the addition of salary plus commission. Addition of salary plus commission. Let's see step by step. Okay. So I'm creating a new standard. I'm creating a new job. Create the standard job, and the job is job underscore employee. So if you want to maintain the table name, you can write simple job underscore the target table name. For example, if you want to maintain the target table name as tim underscore employee. Tim indicates it's a dimension. What is a dimension? What is a fact? There will be a separate video you can watch how to identify a table as a dimension or a fact. It is a separate concept. If anyone doesn't know what is DIM indicates, you can ignore this word for now. Okay. So I'm creating a job as job underscore dim employee. I'm providing the purpose as to load employee data. And why we need to fill this purpose and description is Talend has a future to generate a documentation for every job. So this description purpose, whatever you are writing, it will help to fill in documentation. So it would be better always fill all these columns, whatever available. So we are the purpose of this ETL job. Just I have written 2-3 words, but in real time, it would be better if you write a full the purpose of this job is to load and employ data from Oracle system to Snowflake data warehouse, etc. In detail, if you provide, and the same sentence will get reflected in the documentation which is generated by the Talend. So now I'm creating a job. Okay, now my source is, my table is an employee table, which is available in Oracle database. So here already I imported the table. If someone doesn't know like how to create this DB connection, you can watch my one more video, which is Oracle to Snowflake data load. There I have mentioned how to create a connection. If someone doesn't know that, you can watch that video. So I already imported this table. Just pull this table to here. Pull the table to here, and always I have to take it as an input. Why? Because I want to load the data from EMP, which indicates I want to consider my source as EMP table. So I'm using this EMP. Then I'm creating, I have one more table. So I don't have right now the table, but no problem. I have this table. You can rename it anytime. I want to load the data to employee table, dim employee, right? So whatever the table available here, you can just pull here. Yes, I'm pulling, and the output is this. I did not create my employee table yet in target database. I don't have any table called select star from dim underscore employee. I don't have this table, but still I can create the table during the execution. Okay. So now this, I want to rename it. I don't want to call it as Snow EMP. Instead, I want to call it as with a different name. So what we have to do here, change this to built-in. Yes, I did to built-in. So when you select the built-in, then instead of using the connection or table names, whatever available here repository, you can change, you can utilize anything. You can change this. It will allow us to modify. Repository indicates you can utilize only the metadata, whatever available here. This is called a repository. So if you don't know what is repository, you can watch my Talent Studio overview video is there. You can watch. Okay, so repository is nothing but a place all our metadata information will be available, all our job details will be stored here. Okay, so here I have all the connection details, but I have the table as no EMP. Instead of importing the table, I'm just selecting it as built-in and I will change the table name. Just click here. Yes, I don't want to use this to table. Instead, I want to use a custom object. Dim underscore EMPLOY. Dim employee. So you can see dim employee I have selected. Okay. And in the target side, as I don't have the table, I want to drop if exist and create. That means it will not drop the table because it doesn't have any table. So it will drop only when the table is available in the database. So right now my table is not available. So it will ignore this first one and it will create. And my output action I want to do insert. Yes. So now just right click here. I want all the columns, whatever available from the source. Yes. Just click on the target, and you can select edit schema, change to built-in property. Then you will be able to see list of the columns which are available. You can see. Okay. Click on this. Okay. Run this job. Run this job. In real time, if you don't want to drop and create, then better is to import the table. Better is to import the table. First create the table in Snowflake database and import it. But right now, instead of importing, just I want to create the table on the fly. Yes. Yes, see. All the 14 records loaded. Now you can execute this table. Yes. Now I want to provide one more column, which is called total salary. Addition of these two, salary plus commission, I want to do. What I have to do? Instead of loading all these columns, one more additional column I wanted, which I will need to call it as total salary, which is nothing but addition of salary plus commission. So that can be achieved by using tmap. So here I copied this. I'm pasting Snow EMP and my target table is still dem employee and you can go here and you can change the display name. Okay, the label you can change. I don't want to display it as Snow EMP. Instead, I want to change the name as EMPLOY, or I can call it as target. It's up to you. Anything you can call it as the label name. You can select the component, you can go to the view, and you can select the label format. Okay. Now here I wanted tmap. So how to get the tmap? There are two ways. Either you can write tmap, just place the cursor here on the workspace. Just place the cursor here is designer workspace. Just click on tmap and select this. Or else, if you go down to here processing, expand the processing, here you will be able to find tmap. You can pull it over here, or you can write tmap. Just two options are available. Now I'm selecting this and I'm going for the main, and I'm providing the link to tmap. Okay. And here I want to change the label name. Just place the cursor on this tmap. Okay. Then you will be able to get the label edit option. Okay. Or else EXPRESSL. This is one option. I'm changing the label name as expression. And the other option is select the component, and you can go find a view option. Select the component and go to the component tab, and you can select the view. Then here you'll be able to find the expression. You can edit it. Example, I can change this to label, and I can change this to expression. Now I will do right click and I will select new output and select the target, and what I put a name I want to provide. I want to provide the output name as full load. Yes, I provided the output name as full load. Right click on the expression, click on the row, then select new output, then click on it. Then I have selected full out. And you can see all the list of the columns we got here. Automatically, I did not do anything, but you got these columns. When you do right click, delete this. Now you see, select this, delete this. Let us go from first. Take the tmap. Okay. If you open this, you will not find any columns. Left side also don't have, right side also don't have. Okay. Now, how to get these columns? Just right click on the tmap, row, main. So whatever the columns available in the source system of EMP, automatically you will get all the columns available here. See. And the right side, I can create the output table manually. Yes, click on this and write it as full. Yes. Okay. You can add all these columns here. Okay. You can add all these columns here, or else you can add one by one column here. Example, I can add one by one column here. Add one by one. Just place. You can add like this. But instead of adding right now, I have 7 columns, I can add this, but instead the better option, the reason is if you add the columns manually, then you should take care of the data type. Whatever the data type available here, if you pull here, then you will get automatically. But always I feel the better option is just delete this output. Yeah, I did not get, okay, because I cancelled it. Right click here, go to row and click on the new output. When you select this option, what happens? Automatically, when you select this and when you link this to the target, whatever the columns available in the target table, automatically you will be getting in the tmap right side. Just select here and see. I'm providing the output name as full load. What is the name I'm providing? Full load. Automatically I'm getting the columns. You can add the columns manually. Okay, instead of adding the columns manually, whatever the columns available at the target site, if you want to get inside the tmap, just right click on the tmap, select the new output, link it to the target. So whatever the columns available on the target site, you will be getting here. So need not to worry about the data type, etc. So whatever the target table data type, you will be getting here. That is the best option. Then here, all the column names are same. You can either link each and every column manually. So right now, I have linked only employee number. I have linked only employee number. Okay. Now click on OK, save, run this job. Right now, if you see, I have mapped only employee number. Rest of the columns are not mapped. Okay. So if you see what happens now, let me run this. So before running, you can see the data is available for all the columns. Okay. Now the job is running. Now the job is running. Yes, 14 records are getting executed. Yes. As I mapped only the employee number, you can see the data is available for only employee number. So this is the advantage of tmap. Instead of all the columns available at the source system, whatever the columns you wanted, only those you can map in tmap. That concept we call it as expression builder. Expression builder, which is in this one of the option is column mapping. Instead of mapping all the columns, you can map only the required columns here. Or and one more is instead of mapping each column one by one, there is a concept called auto map. If you click this, if the source column and target column name is same, automatically it will be mapped. Okay, automatically, if you click on this option, then the common column names will be mapped automatically. Now click on OK and run this. Let me see. Okay. So column mapping, the first option what we discussed using tmap, we can achieve expression, which is called column mapping we can do as per your wish. If you want to map all the columns or if you want to map only the required columns as per the requirement, we can do. Okay, each column by column we can map. Auto map, what it does, if the column names are same. Example, if the column names are same, if you click on auto map, whatever if employee number at the left side and right side, both are having same column names, then it will be mapped automatically. If you have any of the column which is having a different name, then that will not be auto mapped. You have to manually map. Okay, you have to map it manually. Example, see here, I have unmapped two columns. Okay, and let me change the column name for your understanding to explain. I'm writing it as commission one. The right side you have commission one. Right side you have COMMM, but left side you have only commission. When you click on auto map, it will map all the columns which are having similar name at source side, but the right side this column name is looking different, so it will not map. You need to map it manually. And I want to, this is clear, you can map it manually. And I want to create a new column. How to create a new column? Just you can place the cursor on department number here. Just click on place and provide the name, total salary. So which is nothing but I want to do the addition of salary and commission, and I want to capture in total salary. Total salary is not available in the source table. Source is my Oracle. In this database, if you see, total salary is not available. So that means at this side, I don't have total salary, but still I want to create a column called total salary, and I want to load the data using a calculation. So how to write the calculation? What is the calculation for total salary? First, change the data type. I want it as big decimal. Why? Because it is not a string. Yeah, I change it. Now I want to do the addition of salary plus commission in this total salary. Here, if you go, then it will allow us to do perform addition, subtraction, anything calculation you wanted, you can do here. So click on this. Here you can see these are the list of the columns available. These are the list of the columns available. So calculations on what column you want to perform, you can select the columns. And these are the functions which are available. Example, mathematical. It will do absolute. And let's say string handling. Example, if you want to convert everything to lowercase or uppercase. If there is a space you want to trim, okay, then you can use this. And if you want to count the length of a particular value, okay, and from the left side you want to get only 3 characters from the left. Example, from employee full name, I want to retrieve only first 4 letters, then you can use left. So these are the different functions which are available by default. If you want to replace a particular string, then we can use replace function, which is available. It will replace specified string with the whatever the value you wanted. So these are the functions which are available. If you want to get the current date, then you can use Talend get date. If you want to do some like if you want to add number of days to the today's date, or if you want to go 1 year back for the today's date, then you can use add date function. If you want to do the comparison, that means the difference between 2 dates, you can do comparison and you can retrieve the difference between 2 dates. So these are the functions. Right now my requirement is I want to perform addition. So here these are division you can do. If I need to do salary plus commission, generally in other tools we will do salary plus commission, but in Talend, instead of doing this way, there is other approach. This is not the way, and we can do add. You can say add. If you want to do division, then you can select division and you have to select the other column. Example, I want to do salary, then add to a column called commission. So I want to do salary, need to be added to the commission. So I can use this format. And SQL, everyone knows that whenever you perform any action for a column having null values, the result will be null. Example, let's output. Okay, 1 second. Add a total salary, but this column will not be loaded to the target table. I added the total salary, but this column will not be loaded to the target table yet. See, it did not load it. Let us see whether this is completed or not. It is an error. Why? What is the data type for salary? Okay. What is the data type commission? Okay. And what is the error? Yes, it is having null values. It is having null values. So that was the reason it is erroring. You can see it is having null values. Because of that, it couldn't able to, it is throwing an error. So then let us use this way. If it is having null values, okay, then I don't want to perform addition. You have relational, you have null in relational. Is null is the one which will return whether it is true or false. If a column is having a null, then it will return true. This function, what it does, if a column is having a null, it will return true. So here I'm writing a case statement or if statement type of thing. So I'm writing here, if the column is null, which column? Basically, if you see in salary column, I don't have any null values, but in commission, I have null values. So if the commission is null, I don't want to do any addition. If the commission is null, then there is no meaning of doing salary plus commission. So what I will do, if the commission is null, then this is called a comparison condition I'm writing. If the comparison condition is true, then I want to display only salary. Okay, else I want to do salary plus commission. If this condition is true, then this question mark indicates it is a kind of then. If condition is true, then I need this. Else I want this. It's a kind of an if statement. So this function, is null function, will return always true or false. If a commission is null, it returns true. So whenever it is true, I don't want to do addition because there is no meaning of doing addition when a column is having null. So I will just retrieve whatever the value available in salary, else I will do addition of salary plus commission. This can be done in multiple ways. Instead of displaying only salary, if the commission is null, I can display 0. Else I can display commission. Then I can do the addition. It's our choice. Let's run this. Yes, all 14 records are retrieved and it loaded, but my total salary is still not loaded to the table. If you want, you can see here. Oh, sorry, it is loaded. The reason is looks like the auto sync is happened. Here, if it is not loaded, what is the thing you need to do? Basically here, the sync columns we need to perform. Automatically the column is added because the sync column is you need to perform. Sometimes when you add the column here, example, I'm adding one more column. Okay. And I'm adding this as providing the column name as created. If you see, I'm adding the column name as created and I'm providing the data type as date. Where is date? Yes. Now this column added and this column is not available at the target site. If you want, you can see it is not available. Oh, it is there. So when it is not available, we can do the sync option. Automatically, the column will be available. The column will be available in few situations when you add a column here, and this column, if you're not able to see at this site, okay, then you can do sync columns, or else the column what you added here will be available, but there is a chance that this target side may have extra columns. The target table side have extra columns. Example, if you see test, now edit this. I have test here, but I don't have here. So in this situation, if you click on sync, then these two will be at same, you can see. So whatever the columns having in tmap, irrespective of that, if you have extra columns in target table, then you can click on sync so that whatever the columns available in tmap, you will be having only those columns at the target side. Rest of the columns, it will ignore, but it will not delete from the database, it will ignore. Otherwise, what happens if the columns are not in sync, it will throw error. Always, when you click on the target table, when you click on edit schema, this columns under full load. I mean, this is our output column. This is our output, this one. Whatever you created the flow, whatever the output flow you created, and I am calling it as full load. See example, new output. I'm not doing anything. See, this is the output which I created. So when you click on the target table and when you select this edit schema, so this is our output and this is our my target table. These two columns should be in sync. If you have extra columns at the target side, you can just sync, you can click on the sync columns, then automatically whatever the columns available extra other than my output will be removed from this list, but it will not be deleted from the database. You will have still, those will be loaded with null data, so that's not an issue. Okay, now I want to create one more column, create date then plus I want to create one more as modified it. Okay, and here I want to call it as date, and I want to load these two columns with today's date. So you can use Talend date, and here you will be having a function called get date. Yes. Okay. And here also, that means it will retrieve today's date. Basically, I want to capture when the records got inserted into data warehouse. Just I want to, for every row, I want to maintain a date, create date and update date. This we call it as foo columns. So whenever you want to get create date and updated date, then you can use this. Talent date and just type here G. It will navigate to get date. Yes, get current date. Okay. Not this get date. I want it as get current dates. Talent date, get current date. Yeah, this one. So I want to retrieve today's date. I want to capture it in create date and modify date columns. Make sure that these columns, yes. Now these columns are available here because I have selected yes. Yes, example. Yeah. So now run this job. So we need to make sure that always select the target table, edit the schema and cross-check the columns. At every time, whenever we are creating a job, we need to make sure that all the required columns which are needed, which are required to populate the data, we need to make sure all the columns are available. Just select the target table, go to the component and click edit schema and see. So you will know exactly to which column we are loading the data. So we are loading the data 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 columns nearly. So this will help us to identify exactly how many columns we are considering from the target side while loading the data. So now if you see these two columns, we got automatically. Yep, you can see. Create it and modify it. So this is called tmap expression where you can create custom columns. Example, these two are custom columns. Even though these two columns are not available at source side, you are populating using some talent functions. And this is also a calculated column which are created by utilizing columns available at the source system. Salary plus commission. We used a columns called salary and commission and created a calculation. And rest of the columns are mapped using the source. So this is an expression. We can call it as expression. And we have seen how to load the data into Snowflake. And how can we confirm that whether the data is really loaded? Just you can go to here in Snowflake. Snowflake has a feature where you can find activity. If you're an account admin or if you're a sysadmin, then you will be able to do this. Or if you're not an admin, then you will not be able to retrieve execution done by other users. Basically, whatever the query is executed by your own user, only you can find if you're not an admin or account admin. If you are a normal developer and if you don't have all the required privileges, then mostly you'll not be able to see the execution done by other users. Right now, I am executing this all the ETL jobs using a user called data analytics. If you want, you can see, go to the target table, the user ID is data analytics. So if you go to here, I'm an account admin, so I will be able to see all the queries which are executed by every user across the organization. So go to query history and in drop down, you can see if you want to know all, you can select all, or if you want to know only the data, a particular user, you can select. Now I want only today's. So it will show us all the list of queries which are executed. If you see, first it is doing create table, drop table if exists. You will be able to identify the time also here. Based on the time, you will exactly know that whether this is steps are executed at what time. Based on that, you can confirm that talent job is executing really. So these are the list of the steps it will execute. So as we selected the target table action as drop if exist, so it will execute the command drop table if exist. Then it is creating the table. Then it is inserting the data. Clear? These are the steps it will utilize. So we have seen how to perform tmap, okay? And here, tmap can be utilized for filters. So let us see how filters works. For example, here I have 14 records. Out of 14 records, I want to load the data only whose department number is 10. I want to load the data whose department number is 10. So I have only 3 records right now. Okay. So how to write the filter? This option. Enable, disable expression filter. You can use enable, disable expression filter. This is column name filter. So here I'm doing this. Okay. I'm doing this filter. So how to write the filters? How to write the filters? Go for department name, department number. Yes. Pull the department number here. And I want to load the data only for the department number, which is 10. So here we can write the equals 10. So it will try to load the data only for the department number 10. We have written the filter as department number equal to 10. So from the source side, it fetched all the 14 records. Why? Because I have written the filter inside the tmap. I did not return the filter inside my source. Okay. So from the source to tmp, it will fetch all the 14 records. And from tmp to target, it will fetch the 3 records. So in real time, if you have millions of records, I don't recommend to put the filter at tmap side. This filter is useful when you are having multiple outputs. Example, in one table, I want to load department number 10. In second table, I want to load department number 20 data. In third table, I want to load department number 30 data. That means you are fetching all the records and you are splitting into multiple tables. In this situation, I can recommend that here we can apply the filter. This filter is only for this output. And if you create a new output, then this filter doesn't work for the new output. So it is the scope. I mean, this filter is works only for this output, only for this output. Okay. So when you want to load only department number 10, I don't recommend to apply the filter here. Instead, apply the filter at source component itself. Here we have an option to write the query that I can explain in the concept called filters. I will create a separate video for filters. At that time, I can explain you. So here, so in this output, in this full load output, I want to restrict the data only for department number 10. Okay, clear? So now it loaded only 3 records. Go to worksheets, cross check. So this is called filter. And here if you see, and here you can see, we can create multiple outputs. What is multiple outputs? As I specified, this filter works only for department number 10. Am I correct? So now what I will do, my requirement is I want to load only department number 10 into this table, and I want to call it as tmemp, edit this, and I want to call this as dim employee 10. Okay. And this table, I want to call it as dim employee 20. Dim employee 20. Okay, so here, this we are calling it as this. Let's change the label name as 20. So just select the target table, go to component and go to the view. Select the target table, go to the component and go to the view and change the label name. Yes. Now here I want to right click here. I want to create a new output. I want to create a new output and I want to link to this. Output name is full load 20. So this is for full load 10. This is for full load 20. Okay. So here I have two tables. So how many tables I am having? I did the right click here. Then you can create one more new output. So as many outputs you want, you can create. So right now I have two outputs. If you click on tmap, you will be able to see here. This is full load. This is full load 20. You can minimize, maximize, minimize. And if you want to, you can create the output from here also. If I create the output from here, then columns I need to add manually. But if I right click here, and if I click on the target and if I select the new output, then what happens? All the columns of the target I will get automatically. So I need not to add and take care of the data type. That I need not to worry. So now here I want to auto map all the columns. See, the same column is mapped to both outputs. Maximize this employee number column is mapped to full load 20. Clear? Now here I will provide the filter. I will provide the filter. You can maximize and minimize the outputs using here. So this is called multi-output. Either you can add the output from here, or you can right click on this tmap and you can create a new output and you can link it to the target. Automatically your output, a new output will be created inside the tmap as you seen here. Now I'm providing the department number dot eqal equals 20. So now, and total salary you can copy it from this one, the same formula I wanted. Yes, paste it. And this one you can edit, and you can go to Talend and you can select get date. Sorry, I did not get that. You can go to Talend date, get date, click on OK. And you can copy now and you can paste it. Both options you can do. So I have provided the filter. The first output I have provided the filter as 10. The second output I have provided the filter as 20. So this concept, by using this approach, you can split the data whatever coming from the source. 10 data I'm loading into target 10 and 20 data I'm loading into target 20. Okay. And the table name for target 20, we are calling it as go to component, select the target table and go to the component. We are calling it as dim employee 20. Okay. Now run this job. As you selected drop if exist and create, even though table is not available in the Snowflake, it will create the table and it will do the load. So there is an error. Employee has wrong configuration. Just like some error related to this. I did not copy this completely. You make a second. I did not copy this completely. Maximize this, and this is go to here. I did not copy completely. Just copy this and expand this. Go to here. Click on OK. Click on OK. Save this and run this. So here, all the 14 records I am fetching because I did not apply any filter at tmap side, but I am applying a filter in, sorry, I did not apply any filter at source side, but I applied a filter to the output side. One is for this target output, target 10 output, I provided the filter as 10, and there are only 3 records for 10. And target 20, I provided the filter as 20. And how many records I have? 5 records for department number 20. And let us see whether it loaded the data or not. Let's refresh and we will be able to see 2 tables are available. Even though tables are created on the fly, dynamically these tables are created. We did not create it manually. Using an ETL Talend tool, we created these tables. And here, department number 10 data is loaded into this. And the one more table is, just place the cursor here, place name in the editor. This is called editor window where we can write the queries. 5 records are available, which is department number 20. And we can go to the activity tab and we can find query history, and there just select the last day and you will be able to see what are the options it executes, what are the commands it executed for creating. First, it needs to create the table which is called 20. You can see it is creating the table 20 and it is creating the table 10. That means both flows are executed parallelly. It created the 20, then it created the 10, then it is doing the insert operation. So this will help us to understand, as there are 2 flows, whether it is creating 10 and loading the 10 and it is creating 20 or how. As these are 2, first what it did, it created the both tables parallel, you can see. First it created 10, then again, if you go at the bottom, there will be one more. Here, from here it started executing. Yeah, this is employee. This is the old one. So ours is 10, right? Yeah, from here. Just expand this. Okay. Now you see 20. Then it created the table. Then it dropped the 10 and it created the 10 also. That means target tables, how many tables we have, all those tables are executed first. Then it is caring about insert. Is that clear? So by analyzing these steps, you will know exactly what step executed in how, like first step, what is this executing? It is executing drop, then create, then insert. What is the sequential manner it is executing, that you will be able to understand when you go to query history. And if you select this last day, then you will be able to understand based on the execution time. Based on the execution time, you will be able to analyze what are the sequential steps it performed for executing this job. So we have seen how to apply the filters. Instead of providing these values, here you can have a concept called variable. Here you have a concept called variable. You provided the values manually 10, 20, but instead of providing the value here, now I can create a variable. And I'm changing the data type here from string to integer. This is a place where you can create the variables, and the variables can be utilized in this tmap. Okay. And these variables you cannot reutilize in other jobs. It is the scope of the variable is within this tmap. Now I'm creating variable. I'm calling it as dept underscore 10 v underscore. The variable name is v underscore dept underscore 10. And I'm creating one more variable, and I'm calling it as, I'm providing the value as 10, and I'm providing the value as 20, and v underscore dept underscore 20. So I renamed it. Now, in the place of providing the value as 20, then I can place this variable. So now, the row department number equals to variable. So here, if you click on this, then you can create a variable, you can delete the variable. And here, this and maximize the full load output. Instead of adding the value as 10, You can pull this variable. So here, what is the advantage of the variable is you can pass dynamic values to this variable. For example, here, I cannot pass a value directly using a select statement. My requirement is I want to filter the data only for the department whose employee is having highest salary. Example here if you see in the entire EMP table, in the entire EMP table, if we have salary as DSC, okay, now this is my highest salary. What is the department number for this? Department number 20. So instead of passing the value as 20, I want to get the department number whose salary is highest. Only that department number I want to filter, then that can be get only by using a select statement. So you can write a separate TDP input using a select statement, and that value you can pass it here. From a column, you can pass the value here. In star,